Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Today we're talking about the 200 to 400mm f4 with the built-in 1.4 converter, and basically talking through some of the photos I've taken with it recently, going through the pros and cons of the lens, and just showing overall my experience of having a lens for the last just over 2 years now, and is it something that you should consider looking at and upgrading from 100 to 400, or not getting a 200 to 500 and getting one of these instead. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the photos itself from this beast here, and we'll go from there. So the first photo I've got here to show you is of a male lion here. Trying to have a bit of a snooze, but it was very noisy the day I was here taking photos, so he kept opening his eyes and having a bit of a look around to see what was going on. But this is taken at the full 540mm. Everything on. This is a 5.6. Bit of a cloudy time there, it's raining on and off, but as you can see, the details, this is taken on the 1DX Mark II. All these photos are going to be taken on the 1DX Mark II. I'm going to show you the details, absolutely spot on. I've got my focus point on his right eye that's open here. Because I'm shooting at 5.6 though, his nose is also perfectly in focus, and a lot of his mane is as well. You will see a little bit of drool coming out of his mouth there as well, because he keeps getting woken up from his nap. But say this is a full extension, including having the converter on as well, and incredibly sharp and very minimal loss in image performance while using it at its full capability of reach. Now this one here, this is taken at 400mm with the f4. Reason for this is I was shooting through two bits of wire, so I was shooting through not just one layer, 2 layers of wire. I wanted that shallower depth of field, just to help cut out any sort of thing there. Background's not the best because you've got the wire in the background, which I hate having, but I was trying to get a nice photo of this jaguar coming towards me here. This is say a 400mm f4 on the eye, nice and sharp, perfect. Colours are really great. There's a little bit of a blue haze on the top on some of the spots there because where the light's coming through the trees above him, but again, a really nice, sharp, crisp, colourful image coming from the lens. Next one here I've included, this is again at 400mm, but this is in complete canopy of trees and stuff. This is taking a very low light, hence why I was shooting at f4, just so I can get that better low light performance. But he's popping his head round underneath here, under the trees, but you can see even though we're under complete shadow later in the day, so there's not a lot of natural light either, the colours are still there, the sharpness in the eyes, the whiskers, nose, everything there is absolutely as you'd expect and want it to be from the lens. And I'm really super happy with this lens and how it's performed in the low light here. And finally, I'm giving you a fourth photo because some people said I needed to give you a few more examples. So here's a fourth photo. This one here is taken at 300mm, just to give you a middle of the range on how the sharpness is. Again, this tiger's coming through the canopy, so the light's not brilliant. You can see there's a beam of light coming through on the left hand side, hence why her left eye is brightened up. So this is a perfect moment to get this nice capture to lighten up those eyes, give you a bit more detail, especially on that left hand side. But say this is through wire again, so no obstacles there, but f4, and just the detail of the fur, everything, the whiskers, because you're f4, the body back is getting blurred out slightly, so it draws your attention to the eyes. The eyes are so sharp in this photo, being at 300mm at that f4 with the 1DX Mark II, the absolute perfect combination for this lens in this light, and it's just a really nice, sharp, colourful image. So as you can see from the photos that I've shown you there, you can get a lot of detail in pretty much all focal ranges from this lens, and including using the on-off 1.4 times extender that's built in here, which can be incredibly handy at times. So what happens is, what I tend to find is most of the day I'll have the 1.4 on, be shooting at 5.6 throughout the whole range up to 540mm, and when it gets a little bit dark and I find a little bit struggle to get the shutter speed up high enough, I'll flick that back up to 1 times, and then I'll have that f4 throughout the whole 200 to 400 range, and that gets me through until it's pretty dark. From experience using this lens, the best combination is with the 1DX I own. I have also used it and got photos with it using the R3, R6, R7. The R7 was the worst out of all of the mirrorless cameras I've used, but that is a common consensus around a lot of the EF lenses, and converting to the R7 is a bit slower. R6 upwards doesn't seem to have any problems at all. It's a really fast lens to focus because it being a more modern lens, the glass is a lot lighter, so there's a lot less weight for it to be moving, even with the elements that physically move it to and from. You get really sharp detailed photos using it on both mirrorless and on DSLR, but DSLR tends to give the best results for me. I would also recommend always using a monopod. This one I'm using my K&F Concepts carbon fiber monopod, and this thing weighs nothing, but I use it with a Wembley gimbal head, which means that when I am shooting, I've got as balanced as you can get it. I could probably do a little bit better at balancing it there, but it's nice and free. You can move it around, and it's not much of a weight on there then, and you don't have any problems getting the photos you need. You can handhold it. I have held it before. You've got a nice big handle on there to hold it with, and you can perch on stuff and hold and shoot. But what you'll find is after a couple of hours at least, you're going to start feeling the lens, and you'll start to get a bit more wobbly, and things aren't going to be as stable as they were. So I always take the monopod and use that to take photos with. Also, you can obviously use a tripod. Either out in the field, like where I go and take photos, monopod's a little more practical, but if you're out taking photos of wild birds, animals, you can take a tripod, put a gimbal on top. You'll be sorted as well for the day. The feel of the lens itself is really well made. It's a typical L lens, really nice lens. It's a £13,500 lens retail, so you expect it to be a very high quality piece of equipment, and it doesn't disappoint. I've had this over 2 years now. Never put a foot wrong for me. It's one of the most versatile lenses I own, which is why I still have it now. And I absolutely love it. It's a lens that I can just pick up, and if I'm not sure what focal length I'll need during the day, so I've obviously got the 300mm prime, the 500mm prime, and stuff like that. If I don't know which one of those will work best if I'm going to a new location, for example, when I was taking photos of kingfishers in a new local pond, sort of lake area near me, I took this lens instead of the 500mm, just in case the birds did come close and I thought they were going to. They didn't. So next time I go, I'll take the 500mm prime on this or the R3. But just for getting used to places, and sort of if I don't know what I'm going to need, I'll always take this lens with me first, because it gives me the ability to be able to use those focal lengths, get home, review what I've used. So if I go again, I know, right, I only used up to 300mm, so why would I not take just a 300mm or the 200 or something? Or if I'm using the high-end 540mm a lot, then I'll just take the 500mm. Isn't it? It's kind of helps me do that, but still now I'm still going to get those really great imagery. And if I was to go abroad somewhere and do like a safari or something like that, I would probably just take this instead of taking the 300, the 500, everything like that. Unless I had an 800mm, I'd take that probably as well. But as a one lens to run and gun with for wildlife photography, this is a really good example. You know, you can get fairly close. Like what's the minimum focal distance on this one? 2 meters. So it's not the worst, it's not the greatest, but it's better than nothing. 2 meters isn't that bad at all for something this big. So that's the minimal focus there. And I've used that at minimal focus, and I have used it and taken photos of like insects and lizards before, small lizards, but I've been still obviously quite far away and cropped it a little bit to gain a bit more on there. But you can use it for that as well. So it is once you get used to using it, you can expand its capabilities quite a lot, and it is something that I'm really glad I invested the money in. I paid just over £4 for this when I got it. You can get them for around about that still now. They haven't really lost a lot of money because they're still available brand new at 13.5, so not really going to drop much lower than that at the moment. Whenever this new rumoured RF lens comes out to replace it, you'll probably see the prices drop down maybe to 3, but I don't think they'll really drop any more than that, because of what you get as a lens and how sharp it is for a zoom lens is just really, really impressive. And it's something that I'm always going to personally keep in my collection, just to use as a running gun if I need to for the outdoors. And it's something that is just really nice and very easy to get used to the focal distance and the usage of. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, comment and like. Let me know your thoughts on this lens. I know a couple of you have bought them on my recommendations on my other videos. Let me know how you're getting on with them in the comments down below. Any questions, pop them down there as well. And if you enjoyed the video, again, subscribe. It helps the channel move forward and allows me to bring new stuff onto the channel. So I'll see you in the next one, guys. Thanks again as always. Goodbye.